Good morning and welcome to Today in L.A. I'm Mike Amos, speaking to you from our studios on South Brundy Street in Troy, Alabama, where a lot going on. It is a cool Wednesday morning, and hope you're doing well wherever you are. Bill Rice Jr. sitting next to me, and everybody says, well, is that guy as big as he looks? Well, let me tell you this, the chairs here, some of them adjust and some of them don't.
It's all in the chair. I'm not that much bigger than you are, Mike. I guarantee you that.
Hope that everybody's doing well this morning, and we're ready to get started. And, of course, not a lot of shake-up in-state with Auburn and Alabama not taking a week off, but Auburn playing Samford in Auburn this weekend, and Alabama playing host to Western Carolina.
I want to congratulate Auburn for playing Samford and playing some of these state teams.
Yeah, I know.
Alabama does not do. I mean, if you're going to play a game where all you want is a victory and a scrimmage, why not play Samford or Alabama State or Troy?
Yeah, Troy would give them a pretty good time, probably.
Yeah, they wouldn't want to. But Auburn has played, let's say Auburn has played Samford, they played Alabama State, they played Jacksonville State. They almost regretted that one, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
But they played them. I think they played UAB.
Yeah. Auburn's pretty good about it. They played Samford several times, and never played Troy, though, and I don't know, it's just, I reckon they see the possibility of getting beat. Troy went to LSU and beat them. Went to Nebraska and beat them,
and what we forget is the almost wins Troy had. Should have beat Tennessee. Was in the game late with Florida State. Another time we could have beat LSU. Yeah. So, yeah, of course, if you play Troy, there's a chance if you, on a given Saturday or a given year, you could get beat, and that's what they're avoiding.
Well, there's no need to even argue the point. They're not going to play us, and that's it, evidently. And, but it does bother me that they'll play some. Now, I don't know how quickly they're going to be playing UAB anytime soon, because UAB's program is getting better and better. So
let me ask you a question. I love to ask questions.
Yeah.
If Coach Malzahn does go to Arkansas, they negotiate some buyout, would Auburn look at UAB's coach, Clark?
They should. There's no question that they should. He's a very good coach, and
certainly knows the state, right?
And has proven himself over and over. And there are a lot of good coaches out there. Auburn probably would want to hire somebody that's well known and big. But he is. I would say that the coach at UAB is probably a top 25 coach.
I think he was the National Coach of the Year at one organization last year.
He was.
I would say you're hard-pressed to find a coach who's done a better job the last 3 years with the cards that were dealt to him.
Yeah, no question about it. Of course, we've got Troy going on the road with a big game with Louisiana Lafayette. Of course, they call themselves Louisiana now, the University of Louisiana, which I don't blame them. That's a better name than Louisiana Lafayette. And that game's going to be a 4 o'clock kickoff from Lafayette, Louisiana. That area there's all close to 500,000 people now. It's a big, fast-growing area.
I've been there. That's where my sister-in-law is from. That's where Bobby picked up his wife.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay.
He was working for a newspaper, a Gannett newspaper in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Yeah. And, of course, that game is very important to Troy because a win will put them in a bowl game, and a loss will make whoa. Are you better now?
Oh, he got cooked up.
We'll have to call back in, I'm sure. But also, Troy's got to win at least one game in the next two games to have a possibility of going to a bowl. You have to win 6 games during the season to qualify for a bowl. And I'm sure Montgomery, Johnny Williams, who heads up the Camilla Bowl in Montgomery, would love to have Troy. Yeah, I'm sure he'd love to have UAB too. And of course, here comes our call in. Good morning, y'all. Today in LA. How you doing?
Hey, morning.
Mike Amos calling in from the Gulf of Mexico. Is that right? Graydon Beach?
Yeah, there's horrible static or feedback or something going on.
Well, it's fine now. We hear you very well right now. Do you hear us?
I don't know. It's like some background noise going on. I don't know what it is, but I'll be all right.
Well, as long as we can, we're okay here, so we'll be okay. Mike Amos, of course, for several years now, has called in each day to be on our show, and of course does a great job.
And he is not afraid of giving a contrarian opinion.
No, he's not, and of course
even if it involves his beloved Trojans, the Charles Henderson Trojans or the Troy Trojans.
I'm calling in over the phone. I'm not live on the air. It's easy to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Of course, we've got a lot of basketball to talk about, but again, Troy, though, if they win at Lafayette, they qualify for a bowl, and if they don't win at Lafayette and they win against Appalachian State the next week,
they still qualify for a bowl.
Here in Troy, they would qualify for a bowl.
So 2 chances, but they're against the best 2 teams in the conference.
It's exactly right. Troy's playing very well right now, and of course they've got an outstanding quarterback.
How many has Troy won in a row now? 2 in a row?
What?
How many games has Troy won in a row? 2 games in a row?
Oh, yeah, 2 games in a row.
And they lost the other game on the 2-point play that was a bad call that they should have won.
Well,
so Troy really could be on a good little roll here, absent that one play.
Yeah. In fact, the games they've lost have been the only game that was sort of a mismatch was Missouri, and at that time Missouri was playing very well. But Troy's got a good football team, and I've got a feeling they're going to put it together either both these weekends or at least one of them, and we're going to end up going bowling, which is going to be a lot of fun.
This is the big one this Saturday, because if they could win this one, they would really have a good run going and all kind of momentum. And then you got Appalachian State, who's in the big poll. I think they're number 21 or 2.
That's right.
They're in, and Texas A&M is not in. Mike, you explain that one. But if Troy could win these last 2 games, that would be huge for Coach Lindsey and his program.
No question about it. Of course, we've got a lot of games this week. There were a couple of games last night. Do you know anything about it, Mike?
I can look up the scores.
Yeah. Look and see who. A couple of games were played last night, and we'll get you a score. Of course, looking at some of the games this week, Oklahoma State's playing at West Virginia. Now you're talking about a good, it was sort of a signature win for West Virginia last week, and this would really be a good win if they could beat Oklahoma State.
That'll be awesome, yeah. That was impressive last week. I watched a lot of that game, and Oklahoma State's playing a lot better. I wouldn't be surprised if Oklahoma State beats Oklahoma in the last game of the year.
Well, it could happen, and of course that's going to be a huge game.
That would help Alabama's case if Alabama can beat Auburn, which is a big if.
A couple other games to look at. It's Texas A&M playing at Georgia ought to be a good one. And really. That's one that, of course, Georgia needs to win, and A&M's pretty good. Good morning, y'all. Today in LA, how you doing?
I was just trying to call back in. I don't know what this background noise is. It's kind of crazy. Is everything plugged in on that phone?
Yeah, well, it looks pretty good on this end. So if it's not doing you right, just
super loud on my end.
Oh man, you can't control it. A little bit better now?
But we can't hear him.
We can't hear you now, that's right. We'll take a break in a few moments and see if we can get this taken care of. Looking at some other games of interest in our area.
Basketball won last night. They won 81-73 over Furman. They're now 2-2 on the season under new coach Nate Oates.
Yeah, and Furman was undefeated coming in, so big victory for Alabama last night.
Who was this freshman for Alabama that's lighting it up? Some freshmen I'd never even heard of got 25 points.
Who would that be?
I'll try to look and see. Ohio won 66-24 last night. Eastern Michigan won 45-17.
that was in the Metro Conference. Is that right?
The MAC.
Yeah. Of course, a few other games of interest that we were looking at. Louisiana Tech's coming in to UAB, and is their quarterback eligible this week, or do you know?
I don't know. I'd have to look and see.
Texas is playing at Baylor. That's a big one, and
so there's some good games this Saturday.
And then Arkansas at LSU. That's not going to be very pretty.
You know, once upon a time, that was a pretty good game.
It's the next. Most of the rival games usually are the last game of the year for a lot of these teams.
And then usually teams play the little cupcake games right before the rivalry game. But there was a lot of pushback about that last year, and I think conferences moved some games around on the schedule. Thus, we have Texas A&M versus Georgia.
Yeah.
Because last year at this time, there were no good games whatsoever.
I was looking for Utah. They're playing at Arizona. Somebody needs to beat Utah.
Mm-hmm.
TCU's playing at Oklahoma. But it's nothing that really not many big, what you call big games, other than maybe Texas A&M.
Oregon
and Georgia.
Isn't Oregon playing Arizona State, or is that next week?
Well, they are. They are playing. Oregon's playing at Arizona State.
Arizona State could beat Oregon.
Well, somebody needs to beat Oregon, and a lot of people think that the Oregon Utah game,
Alabama.
the Oregon-Utah game will be very big. And of course, we were talking yesterday in length about who deserves to be in that Final Four for the national championship, and it should go down to the last ball game of the year. So hopefully
you got to wait until after it let it play
that's
out.
where it'll be. And of course, we've appreciated our sponsors this morning. I want to mention Dixieland Dental, located 9 miles north of Dothan on Highway 231. Dr. Michael Precise, Dr. John Strength, Dr. Damon Strength, and Dr. Robert Precise make up one of the largest dental clinics in Alabama. Also want to mention Sandbuck Insurance. Denny Sanford, my good friend, located in downtown Troy. And, of course, they have offices in Andalusia, Enterprise, and they do a great job. And our good friends at Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram Trucks on the bypass right here in Troy. And as they always say, Premier will beat anybody's price, and that means anybody, whether or not whatever car you're looking for or whatever truck you're looking for, they'll beat anybody's price. Of course, we're going to take a short break. We're going to get right back with you. We've got guests in the studio. We'll be back.
Big discounts, big selection, and really big deals. It's the big pre-owned sale. Only at Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Pre-owned vehicles start at $29.95. Over 50 vehicles under $15,000. $29 down. And you can drive today or take advantage of payments starting at $99 a month. That's $29 down. And payments starting as low as $99. From Montgomery to Dothan, the best pre-owned deal are Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or online at PremierChrysler.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
At Marguerite's, we've been designing and crafting custom jewelry for 4 generations. It's an art for master jewelers. There's really no room for error. It doesn't matter how big the diamond is. You don't expect anything less than perfection. What matters is quality, beauty, and value. After all these decades, your engagement ring is still our greatest pride. Marguerite's exquisite jewelry.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Do you want a good truck driving job? Do you want to drive for the best? Then drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have good benefits. We have good home time. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We match your 401k up to 4%. You can start in the 401k retirement plan after 30 days of employment. You need to drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. It's time for you to think about you and your family's future. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. $1,000 sign-on bonus? These guys did.
That's right.
Small.
Good. Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, and we've what we call brought in 2 people that are well known in our community. Barbara Tatum, the executive director of the Pioneer Museum of Alabama.
Yes, sir.
And my good friend and your good friend and a great supporter of this Pioneer Museum, Emily Ellis, Emily Green Ellis, my good friend, and tell us what's going on.
Well, Mike, the Rotary Club, along with the museum, the
It's
Pioneer
fine.
Museum, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they can hear you.
Well, we're sponsoring the first Troy Chili Cook-Off this Saturday, November 23rd. And we are raising money. Of course, you know, Rotary Club funds a lot of projects, but Barbara can tell you what this project is going to help fund.
Well, the profits are going to be split between the museum and the Rotary Club. And on the museum side, we are looking to help fund an ADA compliant restroom that will be in front of the museum in the fashion of an outhouse. It'll be close to handicap parking with easy access to the Conecuh River Depot as well as the museum.
So not only can you come out and enjoy a wonderful meal and camaraderie with your friends, you're also going to be there to support and see the Pioneer Museum of Alabama, which is very unique.
Absolutely. It's a treasured place in Pike County, one that I'm proud to say I was there opening day, November 6, 1971. I was.
Well, you weren't very old back then.
I was in my junior Girl Scout uniform. Troop 394, Miss Dean Wiley and Miss Nancy Rogers were our leaders. But, you know, there's a lot of Pike County history in that museum, even though the name is now Pioneer Museum of Alabama. I remember the conversation between my mother and my grandfather about what he was going to donate, as well as just the conversation throughout the county. Everybody wanted to have something in the museum. And, you know, we are very fortunate in that the Troy Rotary Club has been a partner with us since April of 2018. They've helped with some cleanup events, memberships, and now this chili cook-off. And the funds that are raised are going to be split between the museum for the restroom and also for Rotary Club, which Rotary is raising money to build a gazebo at the rec center.
That is great.
For the Miracle League field.
Yes.
As well as purchasing dictionaries for all the third graders at Troy Elementary and Pikeville.
You know, I don't know a museum like this in the state of Alabama that has that shows what life was like for these pioneers from roughly, what did you say, 1860s to 1930s or 20s.
Right.
It's a fantastic thing. People stop from all over the country and world to see it, and we need to support it.
We do. You know, since I've been director, which was February 23rd, 2018, we've had visitors from 45 states, Washington, D.C., Guam, Puerto Rico, and 14 foreign countries. And a lot of those are just driving down 231 and they see the signs, which this last year we've gotten 5 billboards updated with graphics.
Good.
We were very fortunate that Christy Ellis Drinkwater helped us, as well as Diana Lee, getting the graphics, and we're very proud of them. So it brings more attention to the museum, and we have seen an increase with visitors coming off of 231.
And this museum was the vision of the late great Curran Farmer.
Right, right.
What a fine. He was the museum man, and his wife, Margaret Pace Farmer, was the county historian for forever.
And
it's just goes back how many years? To the beginning, you said you were there.
November 6, 1971.
It's almost 50 years old.
Right, we just had our 48th anniversary on November 6th.
And Mike, I'm going to be a judge at the chili cook-off. There's 10 groups in town that are making chili, and we got judges who are going to judge it and give them ribbons or something.
We've got a first, second, and a third prize.
And then there's going to be you can vote by giving dollars in jars, People's Choice Awards. But there's going to be some fine chili. So I want to thank my good friend Emily for asking me to be a judge in this contest.
And if it's cool like it is this morning, it'll be perfect. And of course, not only can you come out and eat chili, and I reckon you can have 10 different chilies to
we
eat
actually have we actually have 9 right now. We'll take 10. We'll take 10 or 11 if anybody out there would like to join in. We still could have a couple more entries.
And it's pretty much all you can eat too, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir.
We are still selling tickets also.
Well, tell us about that. How do you get a ticket?
Okay, you can actually call any Rotary member, including myself or Barbara. You can go on. We have a website, TroyChiliCookoff.com, and there is a place, if you're interested in going, that you can order your ticket there and pay for it online. You can stop by the museum. They're open tomorrow.
Yes, 9 to 4.
Yes, you can run by anytime. You can also buy them at the gate when you go that morning at 10.
Let's go eat some chili, and I'm sure there'll be some crackers and some
Saturday morning before the games get kicked off.
Yes.
Go get you some chili.
Yes.
Do y'all still sell those old-fashioned Coca-Colas?
No, sir, we don't.
That was a long time ago. I tell you what, the first thing most people will say when they walk in, they say, "Golly, you mean this place has been here all this time and I've never been here before?"
Yeah.
And I promise you, it's first class. It really is.
It is.
We have a lot of people that open the door to the main building, and it's a lot of skepticism. What is this? And when we tell them about it, they buy a ticket and they go through the museum. They come out of the Main Street area, and it's like, wow, this is amazing.
It really is, no question about it. And of course, those old buildings, it's something that you won't see much, and it just has a great atmosphere about it.
Mike, I'm sorry to interrupt you. That choo-choo train, that train engine you're looking at on that flyer, that was one of the early events that Troy Cable covered. How they moved that old diesel engine logging locomotive to that site. That was
and Cal Rollins, the late Cal Rollins, and bless his soul, he ended
Great
up
man.
leaving us just a few months ago, and he had a lot to do with that train being moved from somewhere around Bruton and
Chapman, Alabama.
Yeah, Chapman down there, that area. And, he did a little program on that. And like you said, it was one of our first programs, that when we started doing a lot of public, promotions and shows.
And it's become kind of a landmark for the museum now.
It is.
And the great thing, too, this is a traditional place, the Pioneer Museum. And for many years, schools in our area have put it down on their schedule to bring their kids down here. But how many children do you think go through this museum a year?
Close to 1,000.
That's pretty good.
Yes, sir. We are looking to get the Troy City schools as well as Pike Liberal Arts and the county schools really involved in it. We'll be pursuing that this year. We have a lot of schools out of the Wiregrass area as well as Montgomery that have been there on field trips since I've been there. But I'd like to encourage everybody from Troy and Pike County to come out if you haven't been out there in the last couple of years. We have worked very hard to clean up the museum, reset exhibits, some exhibits that have been taken out were the Children's Home exhibit and Governor Henderson's exhibit, and we have put them back in the Main Street area, in the area of prominence, and we're very proud of it. The museum is a work in progress because we're continuing to go through storage areas where artifacts were taken out and bring stuff back. So, you know, it's not the same old museum that, you know, some people may think it is. You got a great opportunity to come out this weekend with a chili cook-off. We've also got the Wade Hall postcard exhibit. We've got the buildings of Alabama as well as streets of Alabama. So there's a lot to see and a lot to do. And
we'll have some entertainment also. We've got a band that'll be entertaining as people are testing the chilies. We also will be selling hot dogs and drinks. Of course, what goes better with chili than hot dogs, right? I mean, we've had a generous donation of hot dogs. They'll be grilling those up on site also. The other judges, of course, Bill will be one of our judges, and Mr. Ray Crosby from WTBF is one of our judges, as well as Miss Sheila Jackson.
All right. I know all the judges.
Yes, you do. And
if you want to bribe the judges, that's okay. If you want
guess what? It's going to be a blind judging. BLIND, blind. You will not know whose chili you were tasting.
That is good. That's good.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's an outstanding event, and again, the proceeds go to great causes. And you know, I go way back with the Pioneer Museum of Alabama, and a lot of people out there say, "Well, you know, I've got something that might be interested in having. You know, something that doesn't mean a lot as much to you as it might mean to a multitude of people, you know."
Right.
So you will accept some types of items that have historic
significance.
Would you?
What we ask people to do is to make a photograph of it and email it to us at pioneer@troycable.net, and you know, we'll look at it. Our space is limited because, you know, almost 50 years of collecting artifacts.
Yeah, you're right.
So we try and be selective in what we take. We can't take everything.
But if you got something really good, you would take it in a hurry.
Absolutely.
You know, the mural, some of the murals that y'all have there, and that is one of the things that really stands out to me. It's just beautifully done. And one of the murals was in the Holiday Inn for years. Bill Chapman, brought it in the back part of that big room where they had all, at that one time, you know, everything, if you had a meeting, it was normally at the Holiday Inn.
Right.
But you have that mural, and
yes, sir.
It's really so well done.
It's one that Mr. Godwin painted in the 60s. And we also have one on Main Street that he did of the depot area downtown Troy. We actually found the original drawing that he did, and Vicki Starlin Sanders framed it for us, and we've got that up in the museum as well. And there's one difference that I have found in it, and I won't share what it is. You got to come and look and compare.
Okay.
But it's quite an amazing piece. I've yet to find history on how long it took him to paint it. I hope that's out there, but we have a lot of compliments on it. And we also have art from other people that are, you know, Pike County connections. Miss Jean Lake.
Oh, yeah.
We have the last piece that she was working on before she passed. It's a drawing of a mule. We've got a piece by Woody Ishmael. Mose T.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
So,
you know, every time I go through any museum, the reason you go through a museum is to contemplate what life was like before you and the contributions that people made. And when I go through this museum, I think about how hard these people had it to do the things we can do in 10 seconds took them half a day, you know, cooking a meal, and you will understand that after not only going to the museum proper, but the outside grounds where you have grist mills and, you know, water wells and
Let me just
outhouses.
say this, that the tour of the Pioneer Museum of Alabama is worth the amount of money you're paying to go here. I'm telling you, it is really great. I don't know if you noticed me, the Rotary Club met out there about a month ago and had our meal out there and had our meeting out there. And I ran into something that just stopped me completely. Was Bobby Marlowe, the life of Bobby Marlowe, the great football star.
Well, we've talked about many times on the show. Yeah.
And I stayed almost an hour after that meeting, reading up on this is information that I didn't have, and it, you know, of course, he was a legend, probably the most legendary athlete ever come out of Pike County, and of course one of the all-time greats of the University of Alabama. You're on Today in L.A. Good morning.
Hey, Mike, it's Will Matthews.
Will Matthews calling from Ozark, Alabama. We're talking about the Pike Pioneer Museum, and we're having a big chili cook-off this weekend. Will, have you ever been in that facility?
I have. It's fine.
Yeah, he has.
Well, you know, you live in Ozark and you pass by it all the time going to Montgomery, don't you?
I know it. Can you hear me all right?
What now?
No, we can barely hear you.
Let me call us right back. I'm going to call us right back.
You can call us right
All
back.
right, good. All right, pick the phone up and sit it back down.
Is this any of this tax deductible? Does that matter if you can?
I would think so.
Yeah, with the memberships on there.
Does the $25 cover
Hola.
the membership cost too? Or?
No, sir, it's the $60
All right,
level.
okay.
That gets you a family membership.
Are you back with us, Will? Oh, no, he's not.
Okay, but all right. Now let's just say an individual goes and eats chili for $25. Is that right? Or $15? What is it?
$15 is for an individual the day of the event.
That's really a bargain.
That is. You can eat a good meal and
That's
tour
right.
the museum. $25 will get 2 people.
Which is very nice.
So $12.50 a person if you got yourself and your spouse or your children.
Exactly. Yo, Today in L.A., how you doing?
Hey, Mike, something's wrong with y'all's phones this morning.
I know it. Well, you know, we're not having any problem with it, but Michael's the same way. He's having a problem with it too. So.
Well, I can hear you, but not good. But I called you on my landline from the office, so.
Yeah.
Let me give you my picks real quick.
All right, hold on a second.
On the chili cook-off?
Won't take but a second. This is laid back. This is laid back TV at its very best. All right, Will, go ahead.
All right, Georgia Tech -1 against NC State, and that's tomorrow.
All right, okay.
SMU +3.5 against Navy.
All right, SMU plus.
+3.5 against Navy.
Gosh, all right. SMU's the underdog.
Yes. Cal +3.5 to Stanford.
All right, Cal plus 3.5 to Stanford. All right.
Texas Tech -2 to Kansas State.
Texas Tech -2 to Kansas State. All right.
Missouri -5 against Tennessee.
Missouri -5 against Tennessee. All right.
And I've got a pro game. It's going to be a really good pro game on tomorrow night. Is the Colts against Houston.
All right.
The Colts are getting 4. I like the Colts +4 against Houston.
+4 against Houston. Okay, I got you. All right, we sure do appreciate it. We'll.
All right, y'all have a good show.
Hey, come up and eat some chili with us Saturday morning.
Yeah, and call it and go ahead and call us tomorrow.
All right, see you, buddy.
Thank you very much. Of course, Will Matthews, attorney at law, the Matthews Law Firm, located in downtown Ozark. We appreciate him this morning. And of course, Barbara Tatum, born and raised Troy, Alabama, and of course,
Not born.
well, all right, but from out in the country.
Yes, sir.
Class of 79, Charles Henderson High School, isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
In fact, I'm not going to tell people where you live, but let me tell you this: she lives in the middle of nowhere. I've been to that place. Of course, your mother was a legend.
Yes.
A legendary teacher, and your brothers were rambunctious, and when I was a good fraternity brother of mine, and when I say that, you know, the Tatum family has been around
Absolutely.
for a long time, but you would admit that you do live. It would be hard to go to your house right now, wouldn't it?
It's a lot easier than it used to be.
Is
It is.
But you were born and raised out there in that.
I
right?
was not. I was actually born in Fort Valley, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
My mom was actually born in Ebenezer.
In Ebenezer.
But she would call it Catawba.
Catawba.
Oh, interesting.
Well, now, of course, now that where you, that place over in Georgia produces a lot of peaches. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I've been over there one time that I remember since being born there.
Yeah.
And Emily is from Shellhorn, Alabama, or near it, right?
Sort of, kind of.
She was
We're in the
just past Gibsonville. You come into Greenville. No, of course, one of the great old families, Everett, Pike County, the Greens. Of course, her daddy was legendary Burton Green, one of my all-time favorite people, and
One of mine too. He was a real good friend of
I think
Dad's.
about him. I'm one of these people that I'm sort of nostalgic, and when I go that way, I can't help but think of Burton Green.
Oh, thank you. He
And,
loved you too.
everybody feels that way. You know, he was just a great guy. Your whole family, the Green family, guys, that's one of the largest families in Pike County, I would think.
There's a bunch of
You
us.
started counting all of them.
There's a bunch of us.
If you have a family reunion, you may better make sure you got enough chicken
And chili, yeah.
and chili, no question about it. And your sweet mother and those beautiful girls. I tell you, Burton Green, he was around a lot of pretty girls.
The Greens had 3 girls, and the Rices had 3 boys.
That's right.
It was like could have been like the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
I remember us getting in trouble one time, Bill, and my dad had to take everybody home, and I think you were in the car that night.
Oh God, that was probably my fault. What are you doing corrupting my daughter?
Now back to the Tatums, and I go way back with Winley Wade Tatum. What relation are y'all?
Winley is I think, third cousin.
Yeah, and of course, he's been a very close friend of me and my family. My older brother Bill Amos were best of friends growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Barbara graduated with my brother Rush. The class of '79 with Barbara and Mark Davis and Kim Carter and
Tracy
Schroeder, and it was a great class.
Yeah. And of course, we are
Steve Beasley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No question about it. Of course, we're talking about the big, great bowls of fire now. You will be told, or on which chilies are hot and which ones are not hot.
Yeah, each entry is they're going to decorate their tables and probably have a brief description of their chili. If you have any special dietary needs, I'm sure they can tell you if there's something in there that you don't need to eat that day. There's going to be a lot of chili. We have 9 entries with 5 gallons of chili each, so we're talking 45 gallons of chili to be eaten.
Mm-hmm. Can you mention any of the names?
I can.
Because that would mean a lot to me.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So here we go. So we have 9 teams. Jason Browder has a team. Charles Wyndham and Emory Ellis have a team. Coach Forrest Lee. I know a lot of y'all know Coach Forrest Lee from the
He's a great friend of the program.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he has a team, and he is an incredible cook. I know he can bake, and I look forward to trying his chili. Miss Angie Horn-Staniker has a team. Mm-hmm. She's told me a few little things they're doing that's going to be fun.
Good for her.
Mr. Scott Saunders and Billy Jeffcoat out here are going to have a good team.
Oh, that'd be good.
Mm-hmm. Mr. David Price has a team. Mr. Kenny Campbell. And Southern Grill and Patio, a local owned business here with the Hartleys. They have a team, and they have actually 2 teams. Their Town and Country Flooring also has a team. So there's going to be a lot of chili to be eaten, and it should be a lot of fun. And Mike, and we were talking earlier that it may rain, and if it does, we're still going to be there.
Absolutely.
So come on, and if we do have chili left over at the end of the day, it's possible that we're going to be selling chili
And
at
you
the
have
end of the
plenty
day
of room
to go.
inside to sit. I mean, to have the whole function inside. Isn't that right?
Well, it's probably going to be using tents,
Yeah, I got you.
outside because of the cookers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. Over
Oh,
the
they're
years,
cooking their chili there on site.
Keeping it warm.
Oh, keeping it warm. Okay.
and of course, this is going on from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. as far as the chili being served.
Right.
And then the results of the cook-off would be at what time?
Around 2 o'clock, we're going to
Around 2
announce
o'clock.
the awards.
Dun,
So
dun,
it's
dun,
going to be a
dun.
lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Yeah.
And the winner is.
And
Yes.
if you like to,
Bill Rice.
not only
I'll be the
bring
winner
your
eating it
family
all.
and eat chili, but donate your make a donation to the
Or join the museum. How much is it
museum.
a membership to the museum?
A family membership is $60. So, you can join that day.
Go as many times as you want. Your family.
You got Old Time Christmas, Pioneer
And
Days.
see,
and
that's what
Spring
that's what I was really fixing to ask you about it. And of course, y'all, I'm sure, are starting to decorate for Christmas.
Yes, sir.
And I love that atmosphere. And tell us about the Christmas program.
We will have Old Time Christmas on Friday, December 13th, and Saturday, December 14th, from 6 to 8, both nights. The Montgomery area dulcimer players are scheduled to play Saturday night from 7 to 8, and Cat Deal will play Friday night and second hour on Saturday night.
Now, and you'll be able to walk through all the buildings, and they'll have the. Will it be any hot chocolate and any?
There will be roasting of marshmallows
Oh, I love
in
that.
the demo cabin, and s'mores will be consumed. There'll be refreshments in the main building. We're trying to keep it easily accessible. I know in years past there were events in some of the cabins on the lower grounds, but we're going to be up on the top in the main building.
And will there be any caroling and things like that?
We'll have the entertainment provided by CAT. If people want to join in and sing,
Great.
they're welcome to it. Montgomery dulcimer players like for people to sing, so
I'm taking my kids, and they love running around and playing on, seeing the locomotive, and go and look at the bridge. So it could be a great place to take the kids as well. And then if you haven't been in the museum in a while, and I haven't been in a couple of years, it's a great chance to see or maybe some of y'all have never been in the museum, and like Barbara says, you're going to be impressed.
it's a tremendous collection that we're all very proud of, and the museum serves as a welcome center for Troy, and we have worked tremendously hard since February 23rd, 2018 to clean up, reset, bring back artifacts. So if you haven't been out there since that time, you need to come and see what's happening.
The date on that Christmas program again?
December 13th and 14th.
December 13th and 14th. And I hope
Also
you'll
have a
come
great
back.
gift shop.
Right.
14th,
say that.
13th and 14th, and that's going to be a fun night, I promise you. And again, the atmosphere and the of walking through all those old buildings and enjoying just being outside with it's just a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Bill and Emily mentioned the gift shop. We have locally made gift items. Melanie Flowers has embroidered some tea towels. We have candles by Lightning Hill Candles. They're soy-based, a lot of different scents. We've got Miss Ruth Overstreet has made some reusable bags, as well as she's woven some rugs. Tony Colley Thompson, we have some of her Christmas ornaments.
Will you be able to buy a lot of that?
Yes, sir.
That'd be great.
Great, unique gifts. Dad's
Christmas
history
shop
books
Saturday.
used to be out there till they sold out. It was old.
We have Miss Farmer's history book on Pike County. There's a book about Coach Riddle.
Oh, yeah. I've got some extra copies of that if you need it.
Okay, we've got plenty right now.
All right, good.
So,
That was done by Bill Sanford, is that
Right.
right? Yeah,
Right.
that's a great book.
You know what I want to do is get Mom's print of Troy, a linear print, see if the Arts Council has any of those left. That would be a good gift to have out there.
That would.
No question about it. And I tell you, it's going to be a lot of fun, ladies and gentlemen. That is this weekend, starting at 10 a.m. At the Pioneer Museum of Alabama. And the chili will start being served, or lunch, if you want to call it, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then at the end, we're going to say, that was my favorite, or that was my favorite. That might have been too hot, whatever, you know.
Mike, I also thought that we should explain where the museum actually is located for newcomers. I know Troy has a lot of newcomers, and Barbara knows the address, I'm sure.
It's 248
She better.
U.S. Highway 231 North. Look for the logging locomotive.
Or the covered bridge.
Yeah, the covered bridge. There tends to be some confusion with the Pioneer Village up the road,
Okay,
but we are directly behind the train.
No question
That
about
might
it.
be. I was going to say, how can you not know where the Pioneer Museum is? But I can see the confusion with that Pioneer
And I'll
Village.
tell you another name that we haven't talked about in regard to this Pioneer Museum of Alabama is the Gibson family.
Absolutely.
And
They've
the
donated.
Russell Gibson and Billy Gibson and that family.
Gussie Gibson.
Gussie,
Yep.
of course.
Gussie had Barbara's job for a long time.
And have done so much to donate their time and their land and
Right.
whatever.
We also have Judge Billy and Miss Jean's Native American collection.
Oh,
That's
okay.
wonderful, yeah.
And that's, that is some huge pride
And
for us.
those were relics found right here in Pike County.
Absolutely, on their property.
Yeah. Well, and of course, it brings back a lot of history and a lot of old Troy feeling. And when you walk through there, you say, hey, this is the way they did it then, and that's the way they did it now. And a lot of times it's better when they did it then.
Absolutely.
And old cotton fields, you get a rot and you can't find very much cotton in those old cotton fields back home.
That's right. That's right.
Let me tell you a quick thing about that. You know,
You
the
used to
terrible
pick cotton?
thing back in those days about cotton.
Probably did.
And that's what our main farmers' main thing, the crops to make a living was the cotton crops. The great thing about what happened was, boll weevils would eat up that cotton. They would eat up the cotton and ruin the cotton crop until the man found out about peanuts. The great thing about peanuts is the boll weevils don't eat peanuts.
That's right. That's right.
And thank goodness, the great man up in Tuskegee, invented or came up with all these ideas.
Applications of how to use peanuts.
To use peanuts, and man, that's the best invention ever.
Well, going back to your cotton story, we had spring planting in 2018, and I had the crud. I had no voice, and I was taking water around the volunteers, and there was remnants of a little cotton patch on the other side of the tenant house. I went up the hill, and there was a little boy standing there, 5th grader from the Wiregrass area. He had a piece of cotton in each hand. And he looked at me and he said, "What is this?" And I said, "That's cotton." And he said, "Is this where cotton candy comes from?" We have a huge gap. When I was in 3rd grade, and Bill, I don't know what year y'all came. Y'all came when we were in high school, didn't you?
We came when Rush was your junior year.
Okay, that's right. We had Pike County history in the 3rd grade. And of course, now you've got all the regulations of what's in curriculum. But, we actually had a senior from the county walk through Governor Henderson's room, and the statement was made, I didn't know he was governor.
You're going to learn a lot of stuff you didn't know.
That's right. And let me ask you sort of a little trivia thing here. Marshmallows. I love marshmallows. And we have in our neighborhood at Christmas, we have a big
roasted
campfire, and we have marshmallows and hot dogs and whatever, But I see people, they roast their marshmallows, and they don't want their marshmallows to catch on fire. I don't even want it unless it's on fire. I mean, don't you like your marshmallows, actually on fire, and then you eat it off the
black charcoal. Yeah,
exactly. But a lot of people are afraid to
I don't see that. I see people burning them.
Yeah.
The young kids
well,
are
that's what I would say. That's what I do. I like it. I like them burnt, but some people are afraid to say, "Oh, it's gonna catch on fire."
I got to know the.
But you would be able to
In the
roast
demo
marshmallows.
cabinet.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Mr. John Farmer, who's Mr. Curran and Miss Margaret's son, he's on our board of directors. He will be in the demo cabin doing that. Their
That'd be
daughter,
fun.
Karen, will be there telling stories.
Oh,
and
good.
of course, Miss Julia comes down every Thursday and Friday,
Yeah.
and when needed.
What's the apple cider? Will there be some apple cider there, you reckon?
We had that last year, and
see, I love that.
we have not gotten to that, but we probably will have it again.
That'd be great. I
We'll
love
do it
that.
for you, Mr. Mark.
I got to know the farmers pretty well because Margaret Pace Farmer, like you did, Mike, wrote a column for the Troy Citizen.
Yeah.
And then I got to know Curran well, and this was his baby. I mean, this museum.
Absolutely.
He worked so hard on it. But he was interested in agriculture and farm equipment too. And there's a great collection of
Plows. He loved plows.
of the equipment that farmers would have used from 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Exactly right. No question about
He
it.
helped his dad and his grandfather, I believe, on the farms
that
in
right?
Virginia.
Is that how he got it?
That's how he got the interest.
Well, again, it is Saturday, November the 23rd. Is that this weekend or the next weekend?
This weekend.
This weekend.
Saturday.
Want to make sure about
Rain
that.
or shine.
Rain or shine, and it's going to be a lot
First
of fun.
ever, right?
And a wonderful meal. And of course, now, we've got all of this chili and everything. Will there be any additional, maybe desserts or anything like that?
It's going to be strictly chili. We'll have
Hot
the hot
dogs.
dogs for sale.
The hot dogs, yeah.
Drinks.
And drinks. And those that purchase the $100 ticket, there'll be adult beverages inside.
Oh, man.
Oh, right. You
That's
didn't mention that.
Yeah, a great opportunity if you've got family already coming into town for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's
It'd be
right.
a great outing. You'd get everybody out. You may be able to take some chili home at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
I hope this becomes an annual
No
event.
question about
And
it.
if nothing else, just to get everybody out to the museum from time to time. The more people that come to the museum, the more people that are going to buy memberships, the more
Right.
we can improve our museum and make it even better than it is
And
now.
if you love chili like I do, it is going to be a wonderful event. No
Yes,
question
there'll be a
about
lot of different kinds of chili.
Let me make this point. It just hit me. Other communities say they want to do a pioneer museum. Well, they're going to have a hard time doing it, buddy, because we got a big head start on them. All this stuff that we've got,
Right.
they ain't going to be able to collect over
Yeah.
it.
Right.
So,
It's been a super thing for not only Troy and Pike County, but the whole state. Kids come in here from all over. What's the furthest that you can remember a school group coming?
Somewhere in Baldwin County.
During the spring is is the most popular time, pretty much, isn't it?
It's fall and spring.
Yeah,
We had a group last December.
yeah.
So
How far does your pier go out? Is it y'all still allow people to walk out on the pier?
absolutely.
See that, and you're talking about, hey,
Cool.
It's beautiful all year round. In the fall, when the leaves are beautiful, and the spring, and it goes pretty deep into those woods, doesn't it?
Right.
it's not far from where the Jack Roush, the NASCAR famous owner, crashed his plane into that pond.
Not too far, no question about it.
We actually had a group of American Heritage girls this weekend out of Birmingham, and they got here about 9:30 and stayed till about 3:30.
Well, that
and
was
they
great.
They were very impressed. Shirley Blankenship came and spun cotton.
Yeah.
And did some weaving. Melanie Flowers was quilting. Art came and. He took them through the main street and the agriculture side. Miss Julia took them on the grounds outside. And actually, one of the ladies that was one of the mothers, she looked at me. She says, "Y'all don't charge enough."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'll tell you something too, ladies and gentlemen, and wherever you are, that y'all are looking for more people that can actually take people on tours, and there are a lot of people that are very aware of the history of Pike County and all that you'd love to come in and maybe help out on some tours and so forth.
Absolutely. There was a volunteer sign-in book when I first started, and it had volunteer duties. And it was stuff like picking up sticks, cleaning toilets, dusting, mopping, which that's fine, but I want people to have a fun experience. It's a great opportunity for retired teachers. They can teach. They don't have to grade papers or, you know, do all the administrative work. You know, we have folks that greet people coming into the museum. If, you know, you don't like being in the public, come out to the museum, make a picture of a case that's got artifacts in it that you're interested in, find some history about them for us, because, you know, my memory back in the early years was every artifact had a card identifying the object, telling the year that it was used, and most of them had the family that donated it. There's actually a cotton merchant's desk out there that was in my great-granddaddy's store in Banks. And, you know, I didn't know that was out there. And that was a surprise. But I would love to get that back. We have a card catalog that Miss Farmer kept with the early donations. So, you know, like I said before, it's a work in progress. We've come a long way in getting it back to where I wasn't embarrassed to open the doors.
Now, when will you start decorating for Christmas?
Oh, we started 2 weeks ago.
Okay, that's great.
We got 2 more
white
trees.
A lot of white lights and so forth?
Yes, sir.
Have them on this weekend, won't you?
That'll be beautiful.
Maybe.
And again, all right, of course, we've got this big event coming up this weekend, and then the Christmas event is, what's the date one more time for
December 13th and 14th.
13th and 14th.
It's a Friday and Saturday night from 6 to 8 both nights.
That'll be a wonderful time to come out. Hopefully it'll be cold and people can walk through, and I'm sure there'll be some fires in the fireplaces.
Yes, sir. They'll be roasting.
Smelling that aroma of the wood in the fireplace.
Absolutely. They'll be roasting marshmallows in the demo cabin. But you know, we had a good turnout Saturday night last year. The weather Friday night was not that great, and that kept people away. But Saturday night,
this would be a wonderful thing to take your kids out, you know, and enjoy. You know,
there'll be crafts for the kids.
Temperature should be good. I just think that it's the entry to Troy and Pike County. You want it to be as first class as possible when you think of all the visitors that are coming from all over.
Well, it is.
And I know you're doing a fantastic job, and you'll continue to do a fantastic job. It's already an asset to the community, but it can be an even bigger asset, but it's going to take people supporting it.
We've done a lot this last year. You know, the billboards, they were falling down when I got there, so we got 5 billboards replaced with new graphics. We've replaced the roof on the dog trot cabin, the roof on the church, which both of those are cedar-shaped roofs, and they're expensive to put on, and you know, you got to have skilled people to do it. We've replaced 8 toilets on the property. We ran a new water line from 231 to the main building. We've addressed some erosion issues behind the building. We've had electrical work done inside the building. So there's a lot that we've done, but there's so much more. We want to get that old Ford truck restored. We want to get it under a shelter. You know, the schoolhouse needs painting. The train needs painting. And right now we're working big fire, little fire.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. You used to allow Boy Scout and Girl Scout troops to camp out there. Do y'all still do that?
There has not been any activity with the Boy Scouts. I know the Boy Scouts did. I'm not sure about the Girl Scouts, but, you know, it's something that we would consider if the Boy Scouts are interested in it.
You know, Mr. McClendon's a very good person that volunteers.
He would be.
And that does a great job. We appreciate y'all coming.
We appreciate you having us.
Anytime you're welcome, and we love to have you on our show. And of course, you folks out there, I was joking with them. I said, well, you're going out to 1 billion people. Well, the last time I heard was over 2 billion people are on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
and you can go to Facebook right now and see this show.
There you
Now,
go.
how long somebody watches our show or picks up our show, you are on Facebook around the
Well, and Troy
country
Cable
and throughout the
TV
world.
proper is on in about how many counties?
12 counties.
12 counties. So think of, if you're looking for a good day trip, if you live just outside of Pike County in Dothan or Luverne,
Exactly.
you can't have a better day trip than going and spending a couple of hours at this museum.
And some teachers like a day trip, and some people don't like a day trip. But I know most of the teachers I know is, hey, let's go on a day trip.
A lot of people will come through the door. How long does it take?
Yeah.
And, you know, I've seen college students walk through it in 7 minutes for extra credit.
Yeah.
I've seen, you know, usually the average is 45 minutes to an hour in the main building. But there was one guy that came in. He got there about 9:15 one day, and I locked the door behind him at 5 o'clock.
Oh, boy.
And that was in the main building.
You know, I
He
went
never
to
left.
the World War II Museum in New Orleans. Man, my dad was a big history buff. He took me on that trip. And he had to chase me out of there after a couple hours. I mean, he said, well, we had to go other places. He said, let's go, Bill, let's go. And I said, no, I mean, I want to stay. And
Well, let me tell you this. One of the things I like more than anything is the old uniforms, the old guns, the old rifles.
World War I stuff.
And Confederate war, you know.
We're very fortunate.
It's a
to
lot
have,
of that
war
type
stuff,
of thing, yeah.
military history.
We're very fortunate to have Mr. Bob McClendon's
Yeah, he's
collection at
great.
the museum.
Yeah.
You know,
He's a super guy, and he will talk to you. He can really tell the story. He really can.
he can.
We're going to be back in just a moment, but again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr.
And
Mike.
a big chili cook-off. That's where you need to eat
Everybody
this
come.
weekend, is out at the Pioneer Museum of Alabama. We'll be back in just a moment.
It's that time of year again. Merry Christmas from Wireless Sandals Trailer. Oh, look at all my beautiful little helpers. We got toys. That's right. It's the toy drive from Wireless Sandals Truck Line. Trojan Detail. Also, Walt's Gym. It's Christmas time. Girls and boys, can you do it? I don't hear y'all.
Ford Truck Month is going on now at Bill Jackson Ford, and folks, we have the deal for you. Take up to $6,000 off MSRP and get 0% APR for 72 months for huge savings on a new 2019 Ford F-150. Select new 2019 Ford Mustang starting at an incredibly low $23,900. Or drive home a select new 2019 Ford Escape starting at just $18,900. Bill Jackson is the name you've trusted for over 30 years. Check us out on Highway 231 in Troy or online at BillJacksonFord.com.
Piggly Wiggly's local butchers are on site at both stores and will help you select the best cuts of meat and trim them to your liking. Our USDA Choice beef is the most consistently tender, juicy, and flavorful beef you can buy, all at cost plus 10%.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa know-how. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa know-how team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
At Marguerite's, we've been designing and crafting custom jewelry for 4 generations. It's an art for master jewelers. There's really no room for error. It doesn't matter how big the diamond is. You don't expect anything less than perfection. What matters is quality, beauty, and value. After all these decades, your engagement ring is still our greatest pride. Marguerite's exquisite jewelry.
I just wrote my check to buy fruit from the Charles Henderson High School band, and Trent Burkett's with us this morning, and I didn't even know, I couldn't see him out there, and I got you late for class already, don't I?
That's okay. I've already called them and let them know.
The annual fruit sale. Now, let me tell you this. If you've lived in Troy very long, you have bought fruit, and I buy several boxes of fruit usually every year, and I enjoy, it's just part of the holidays.
Tradition, yeah.
to
Yeah,
me.
that's right.
That's right. We actually picked this up. Mike Hogan used to do it with the
that's
ag
right.
department.
That's right.
And when Mike retired, no one picked it up, and so he called me and said, "Look, you need to get on this fruit sale. People in the community."
And you know what he's saying right now? What have I gotten into?
No, this is actually this is one of the easiest fundraisers we do, and we make a lot of money off of it.
You sure do.
Because people in the community buy every year, and they look, are waiting for
You
us
did
to
well
start
to listen
taking
to
orders.
Coach Hogan. That's right.
That's right.
And something that's very important, and of course, this is tradition for me and KT Cole and a lot of my friends, is, buying fruit and of course, enjoying the fruit, but also giving it away, to some of your friends or shut-ins or whoever love fruit at Christmas.
That's right. You guys buy a lot of fruit in bulk from us.
That's right. Now, let me ask you this. Tell us, this is premium fruit from the vineyards of South Florida.
South Florida, that's right. And then, the apples are the Washington red apples. So
they pop in your mouth.
Yes,
is that
they
right?
do.
I don't want an apple unless it pops in my mouth.
Right. And
my wife all the time, she said, "No, they ain't an apple," and I hear every bite.
and then
I
she
said,
pop you in your
go
mouth.
outside and eat that apple. but Rice, if you've been buying fruit from the high school band program for a while, you learn how you preserve the fruit.
That's right.
And my fruit lasts sometime into February.
Yeah.
It's really amazing.
Keep it in a cool, dry place, and it'll last for a while.
Sure will. All right, tell us what's going on now.
Well, we're taking the orders. Today is actually the last day to turn in an order.
Yeah.
So if they want to call in, they can call me at the school.
And that
number is 566-3510 and the extension 5010. That'll put them directly
Say that
into my
one more
office.
time.
566-3510, extension 5010.
That's Charles Simpson High School.
That's my office at the high school, correct. And then if I'm in class and not able to answer the phone, it'll take a voicemail and then send it to me as an email, and I'll get it when I have planning. I'll take the order, and as long as they give me a cell phone number on the order form, then I'll turn around and text them a picture of their order form, which has the pickup dates and times and everything.
Isn't that great?
Modern technology.
All right, yeah, exactly. All right, now, I've already got a box of the big...
the navel oranges.
Navel, which is my favorite. Now, you got navel oranges, which are the bigger orange.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
They're easy to peel, and they're sweet.
And then you've got...
we have the red grapefruit. We have the Hamlin oranges, which are the smaller ones that you use to make juice with.
That's right.
And then we have the apples, the Washington red apples. Sometimes they're from Ohio, depending on what the crop is in Washington and the price.
Yeah.
And then we do a mix box, which has some of all of it in it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's actually our best seller.
Really a favorite and so forth.
And what are the prices?
All right, so the prices on the navel oranges, the red grapefruit, and the Hamlin juice oranges, for a full box, which is 4/5 of a bushel.
Yeah.
And 4/5 of a bushel is a box that's a little bit bigger than a copy paper box.
Sure.
Okay. And that's $35. You can get a half of box of those for $25. The apples are a little more expensive. You can get a bushel of apples for $45.
Yeah.
You can get a half bushel for $30. And then we do the variety box, which is some of each of it in a box mixed together for $40.
Yeah. Now, and of course, you'll pick up, excuse me a second. Good morning, you're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Hi, just calling back in.
We've got Trent Burkett with the Charles Henderson High School Marching Band selling fruit. How many times have you seen fruit at my house during the holidays?
Pretty much my whole life, I would imagine.
And of course, it's the best fruit in the country. And of course, we talk about South Florida. I mean, this is where this is the prime time to buy fruit. Is that right?
It is. This is their peak of their growing season, I think. I'm not sure.
And of course, the the oranges I like is the kind you can peel, you know. And
yeah, you like those navel oranges,
yeah,
and you
exactly.
come in and sample the apples too.
Yeah, I sure do. I do. I sure do. And of course, now when will be the pickup?
All right, the pickup dates are December the 13th. That's Friday.
Yeah.
And we'll have those ready for pickup in the cafeteria.
You don't have to pay today. You can pay when you.
No, you pay when you pick it up.
All right.
Yeah, that's great.
That'll be from 9 to 3 in the cafeteria.
That's
and they
right.
pull in the front of the school and just stop, and we'll tote it out to the car for them.
Perfect.
If you got a big order like KT usually has like 20 variety boxes, then you can pull around to the loading dock around back, and we'll load it in the back of the truck. And then the next morning, which is December the 14th, that's a Saturday, we'll be there from 8 to 12.
All right, now, if there is any left over, that'll be a good time to get it. Is
That's
that
right. If there's anything left over, we'll sell it. If you forget to order and you come in and go, hey, can I get
that's right.
We'll sell you anything.
That's right.
I'll sell you if you stand still.
Now, you get a Wiley Sanders truck. Is that right? Is that what y'all store it in a big truck? Or how does
It
that
comes
work?
on a refrigerated truck, and then we unload it. The students will go up there and unload it, and we keep it on the stage in the cafeteria because it stays cool in there, dark, and so it doesn't go bad.
Yeah, and tell us who that boy is right there.
This is Colin White. This is my stepson.
Well, he is a good-looking guy. What grade you in, Colin?
I'm in ninth.
Ninth grade, and of course you're gonna be helping out with this.
Oh yeah, he's helped even when he wasn't in the
I
band,
tell you
so.
what, and it gets old. I mean, when you start unloading all those boxes, and you'll take any volunteers.
Yeah, because my age starts telling on me then.
Exactly.
It's a great gift for family members and for businesses that want to thank loyal clients. I can see a business saying, I want 20 boxes, and then taking it around on Monday and saying, thank you for your business.
Yeah, I've done that for years. I really have, and I enjoy doing it. Something that is also something we want to remind you of, the proceeds goes to
That's right. We're gonna compete in April at a National Concert Band Festival in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, that'd be fun, yeah.
And so what we're doing is the kids are raising money, through this individually to pay for the cost of their trip. We've got a charter buses that we got to pay for.
Yeah.
We're kind of trying to raise that money separate so we don't pass it on to the.
Well,
take kids to Nashville, compete nationally, but they get to see Nashville. A lot of these kids haven't been out of state.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's wonderful.
That's a great city to go to. I'd never been to
Nashville's
Nashville.
a lot of fun.
A couple of years ago, my wife and I spent a weekend. My wife went to see a Billy Joel concert in Nashville, and Nashville is a happening place, man.
There's always something to do.
Billy
Kids
Joel,
will love that.
The old songs of Billy Joel's are my favorite.
I love him too.
Of course, it's Christmas time. It's time to be jolly, and it's time to be fruitful.
That's right.
And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, not only do you buy for yourself, but you buy for your friends and neighbors, and put together a box for people. Just say, hey, just wanted to give you a little gift here at Christmas, and it's a lot of fun.
That's great, and it's a great snack for the kids too, especially with our two boys that eat all the time. Rather than
besides
potato chips and cookies, and they'll get an orange, or they'll get an
buy it
apple.
for yourself.
That's right.
Well, I tell you what, you've been around a long time, 10 years at Charles Henderson High School. Of course, you performed yourself with the great one, Johnny Long, and the Sound of the South Marching Band.
Yet another Johnny Long disciple. There must be 1,000 of y'all.
There's
the Sound of the South got the big Sound of the Seasons coming in.
Their concert's coming up. I don't know the date on that one.
I want to say it's Thursday the 12th. If the 12th is on Thursday, I'm not sure. Mike, when is the 12th land?
How many former Dr. Long band members or students became band directors? You got any idea?
I have no clue.
I've read 300, then I've read 400.
I don't have.
You've been a band director. You were in Florida before. Is that right?
I started in Florida, down in Mariana.
Yeah.
And then I moved up to Delville with Amanda Ford.
Exactly.
And worked there, 7-8 years.
Yeah.
And then I went to Luverne for 1 year.
Yeah.
And then to Baldwin County in Bay Minette.
Exactly.
and then I came here.
And of course, you came back to your old stomping ground.
Yeah.
You're originally from Florida, is that right?
I am. I'm from Century, Florida, which is right across the state line.
That's right.
Let me ask you this question: was one of the reasons you came to Troy because of the band?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was. I had been for years, even when I was at Delville. It was like, I want to get back to Troy.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I'm talking
I
about
wanna
when you came to Troy University.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course,
yeah.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we've just made the point that band program is a magnet for enrollment.
Oh, well, yeah, it's a big part of enrollment. at the
You
university.
know, something that a friend of mine I met not too long ago, his daughter's a majorette in the Sound of the South, and she could have gone to school free in Georgia on the Hope Scholarship.
Right.
I mean, it wouldn't cost her a dime, but she wanted to be in the Sound of the South, and her daddy said, "Hey, I pay full tuition." Says it, but you know, it draws a lot of people to just be a part of it,
especially from the surrounding states. But you know, the university gets band students from as far away as New York State, and I think even some students from California. I'm not sure.
That's
You
right.
have to ask Mark about that.
Of course, you got a pretty well-known assistant band director. Is that right?
Yeah, Ray Dennison is
Yeah,
the
he's a
associate
good-
Oh,
there
a
at the high
classmate of
school.
mine,
Yeah.
Ray, hot
Yeah.
dog. I didn't know that.
And of course, you know, it's a lot of tradition. Now, y'all will be on stage for the Christmas parade, which
That's
is coming
December
up.
the 2nd. That's right, at 7 o'clock. And
That's always a lot of fun. You gonna bring your kids downtown for that?
Of course.
Yeah, that's always fun.
And then we have our annual spring, as Miss Wagner used to call it, a Christmas gala.
Yeah, when do y'all do that?
That's on December the 10th, and that's in Wagner Hall, which is the gym.
And when do y'all do that?
That's December the 10th. That's on a Tuesday. It'll be the week following the Christmas parade.
And what type of?
Well, it's going to be all of the performing arts, music performing arts for the Troy City Schools. We'll have, of course, the Orff Ensemble with Elaine Blocker from the elementary school and her elementary school vocal ensemble. We'll have vocal ensemble from the middle school and the high school, as well as, of course, the beginner
Singing
band.
Christmas
from,
music, is
that's
that right?
All Christmas music. The beginner band from the elementary school.
Yeah.
The middle school band, and then of course the high school concert.
People
band.
don't
So you
realize
can see
that,
all of it.
that if you'll include the you know, elementary part, there's a lot of people in the band. Is
That's
that
right, and we'll get that entire concert within an hour.
Yeah, well, that'd be fun.
So
That'd be
people,
fun.
you know, people about an hour, and then those benches in that gym start getting
Exactly.
hard.
You need to call right now. You need
You
to
do.
call right now at 566-3510 and order your fruit. This is the last time you can order fruit, and the only chance you'll get after this is if they have something left
Some
over.
left over. That's right.
So has it been pretty good? The sales
Yeah,
been good?
sales have been real good this year, and
if you'll compare the price, just go compare the price. You're getting I'm getting a big box of oranges for $35. Go price it at the grocery
yeah,
store.
and these
you almost
prices
double the savings.
We haven't changed these prices. I don't think we've changed these prices since we started this fundraiser.
Amazing.
right.
The
No
price of
inflation.
the fruit keeps creeping up a little bit, but I'm real hesitant to raise the price because I don't want the community.
And if you own
to,
a business, buy several boxes and give to your employees, you know, or some of your customers. You know,
That's right.
Hey, I love to walk in a store and there's a box of oranges and apples sitting down there, and it says "take one," and I take one, and maybe take two. You know.
Yeah, and all this is tax deductible. If you want to, if you're going to buy all this fruit and give it away to your employees or to people in the community, we are a tax-free organization. The Band Foundation is a tax-free organization, and we have that number. And if they need to get something from us, a tax ID number, or a letter, we can get that to them. They can use it on their taxes.
No question about it. That would be perfect. No question
Every
about
little
it.
bit you can take off your taxes helps.
Exactly right, and it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas over at Charles.
So what we got, you eat your chili on Saturday, you order your fruit today.
Yeah. And I tell you what, it's a great deal. And again, that telephone number 566-3510 extension
5010.
5010.
And I bet if you just call it and say, I want to order some fruit, they'll put
Miss Fox will put you right on through to my office.
Exactly
sure
right.
will.
And you'll have these guys working. Is that right?
That's right. Building those muscles.
Unloading a truck of fruit's pretty big job, isn't it?
It is. It is. And I tell you, it takes. We have to recruit. Sometimes we have to recruit kids from the football team and the ROTC and all the band kids, because every one of those boxes have to come off that truck by hand.
Right. Now, do you let any of these kids sort of sample the fruit?
Yeah, we'll let them sample a little bit, and stuff like that. And people come in and say, I want to try those before I pick them up, before I buy some more. And then a lot of people come in and want to buy extra.
That's right. We're going to take a short break. We appreciate it so much.
You.
And good to see you, young man. And hopefully you'll sell them all.
I hope so. Thank you.
It's that time of year again. Merry Christmas from Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Oh, look at all my beautiful little helpers. We got toys. That's right. It's the toy drive from Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Trojan Detail. Also, Walt's Gym. It's Christmas time. Girls and boys, can you do it? I don't hear y'all.
Ford Truck Month is going on now at Bill Jackson Ford, and folks, we have the deal for you. Take up to $6,000 off MSRP and get 0% APR for 72 months for huge savings on a new 2019 Ford F-150. Select new 2019 Ford Mustang starting at an incredibly low $23,900. Or drive home a select new 2019 Ford Escape starting at just $18,900. Bill Jackson is the name you've trusted for over 30 years. Check us out on Highway 231 in Troy or online at BillJacksonFord.com.
Piggly Wiggly's local butchers are on site at both stores and will help you select the best cuts of meat and trim them to your liking. Our USDA Choice beef is the most consistently tender, juicy, and flavorful beef you can buy, all at cost plus 10%.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
Napa Know-How. At Marguerite's, we've been designing and crafting custom jewelry for 4 generations. It's an art for master jewelers. There's really no room for error. It doesn't matter how big the diamond is. You don't expect anything less than perfection. What matters is quality, beauty, and value. After all these decades, your engagement ring is still our greatest pride. Marguerite's exquisite jewelry.
We've been out to that Pioneer Museum. It's real interesting.
It really is, yeah.
It's that time of year again. Merry Christmas from Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Oh, look at all my beautiful little helpers. We got toys. That's right. It's the toy drive from Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Trojan Detail. Also, Walt's Gym. It's Christmas time. Girls and boys, can you do it? I don't hear y'all.
Ford Truck Month is going on now at Bill Jackson Ford, and folks, we have the deal for you. Take up to $6,000 off MSRP and get 0% APR for 72 months for huge savings on a new 2019 Ford F-150. Select new 2019 Ford Mustang starting at an incredibly low $23,900. Or drive home a select new 2019 Ford Escape starting at just $18,900. Bill Jackson is the name you've trusted for over 30 years. Check us out on Highway 231 in Troy or online at BillJacksonFord.com.
Piggly Wiggly's local butchers are on site at both stores and will help you select the best cuts of meat and trim them to your liking. Our USDA Choice beef is the most consistently tender, juicy, and flavorful beef you can buy, all at cost plus 10%.
Napa Know-How.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa know-how. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa know-how team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
It's not doing anything.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate all our guests this morning, Barbara Tatum and Emily Ellis, and with the Pike Pioneer Museum of Alabama, and also the Troy Rotary Club, which sponsors this event. And then, of course, Trent Burkett, the band director at Charles Henderson High School, and their big fruit sale is going on, and that's tradition for
I thought
as long as I can remember.
I just remember always getting fruit, but I guess it was from the Coach Hogan and the ag students.
And that's the same bunch.
But then after Coach Hogan retired, it switched over to being a fundraiser for the band.
That's right. And it is good fruit.
But it's always been huge, and because it's proven they either going to eat the fruit themselves or they're going to give it to family or customers.
And it prolongs Christmas. I promise you. You'll start eating fruit in the mid-December and eat fruit till through January, and it's just wonderful.
And my kids actually like apples and oranges, and they eat too much chips and junk, so I can get them some fruit instead.
That's right. No question about it. And look forward to that, and we want to remind you again, call that number.
The Lady Trojans basketball team played this weekend against Mississippi State, and they scored 82 points, but Mississippi State scored 122.
Yeah. We got another call coming in. We'll put you on hold here. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Good morning, Mike.
Hey, Mayor, is this the mayor?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, how's everything over in Georgia, Scriven, Georgia?
Man, it's beautiful today.
And of course, you're an hour ahead of us. What's been going on?
And just getting ready. We got Lieutenant Governor coming into the office today.
What is he going to be here for?
He's just coming to make us swing through our office and talk to citizens, and it's a meet and greet type of deal.
Well, great. Of course, we're talking to the mayor of Scriven, Georgia, Jason, and of course, we appreciate Jason. Gosh,
the lieutenant governor might become the governor. That happens sometimes.
Yeah, here's a fun fact on this lieutenant governor. He also was the closer for Georgia Tech when Georgia Tech won the College World Series. Jeff Duncan is his name.
Oh, gosh.
How old is he?
He's probably in his early 40s. It was in 90-something when they were making the run in 90. I can tell you what year he graduated.
Yeah, we had a friend of ours.
That's why we had a friend from Troy, Sam Drake, that pitched for Georgia Tech in the late 80s.
Yeah, he was really a good pitcher. We're gonna put you on hold a minute. Where's hold here?
Okay.
We'll put you on hold a second, and let's see. Well, all right, let's just try it one more time here. All right, I got both of you on.
Yes, sir.
All right, Michael, did you jump off? Michael must have jumped off. I must have left him, whatever. Can you hear us?
I can hear you, but you got a loud hum in it.
Yeah, I know it. That's what I've heard. We've got telephone problems this morning. We're talking to Mayor Jason Weaver of Scriven, Georgia, and that's located right there over there near Savannah. Is that right?
That's right.
Now, we were talking about your daughter is a majorette at Troy University, and one of the reasons she goes to Troy is because of the Sound of the South Marching Band, and she could have gone to school free with the Hope Scholarship in Georgia. Is that right?
That's right.
And instead, you're having to pay a pretty good bit for her to go to college.
Yes, sir.
Because she wanted to be
it's worth it. It's worth it. She's at Troy University, so what more can I say?
All right, now let me ask you this. Who did you pick? You picked Troy over what schools?
Georgia Southern, University of Georgia, and the University of Florida.
And you picked Troy, Alabama for the place for her to go to school. That's quite
We love hearing stories like that, Mayor.
That's quite a compliment.
And I saw your daughter. She marched in the parade. She walked right by me.
It was supposed to be. It actually wound up being warmer than it was supposed to be during the parade. It was actually really nice.
Yeah, no question. Now the next parade that she'll be going in is our Christmas parade, and it's usually real cold, and that's usually the first Monday in December.
That's right.
What class is your daughter in school?
Sophomore.
All right.
So you got 2 or 3 more years of this, don't you?
Yeah, man, I got a lifetime. It don't matter to me if she leaves. I'm still going to be there. I enjoy it.
Well, that's great. And Scriven, Georgia is what, 5-6 hour drive?
About 5.5 if I really get on it.
Yeah, and of course you drive to go to Scriven. What towns do you drive through?
When I leave Troy, I'll go 231 down to Brundage and then run that back road that runs to Fort Gaines. That's where I cross the Georgia-Alabama line right there.
Yeah, exactly.
And come up into Albany and then go from Albany down to Tifton, Tifton to Waycross over to my house.
Yeah. Okay, stay on the line. We're going off the air, but stay on the line. I need to talk to you about something, and we'll be right back. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching our show. We appreciate our guests. Bill, appreciate you as always. You ready to go to Bird's and get something to eat?
All right, I can do that.
Going to Bird Drugs for lunch. Have you found out about Bird Drugs yet, Carla?
Oh, yeah, that's where I go. When you walk into that park in the morning and smell that bacon all over the park, you can't help but go.
You're right, my friend. You're exactly right. Well, listen, stay on the line, and we'll be right back with you. Ladies and gentlemen, you can watch this show again today at 1:30, and remember the fruit sale and, of course, the huge chili cook-off going on this weekend at the Pioneer Museum of Alabama. We'll talk about that tomorrow, too. We'll see you later tomorrow for Today in L.A. and Bill Jackson Chevrolet's Picks of the Week tomorrow right here on this show. Hope you have a good day. See you tomorrow.
At Marguerite's, we've been designing